Google unveils its Code Assist tool in what's becoming a crowded and competitive market. Anthropic claims that AI is not only smart, it is at least as persuasive as humans, and maybe more so. LinkedIn takes action against phony AI-enabled recruiters, and U.S. legislators continue to put the squeeze to big tech and AI. All this and more on the Fool Me Once edition of Hashtag Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. Google has launched a new AI assistant called Code Assist to take on GitHub's popular Copilot at its Cloud Next conference this week. It's an enterprise-focused AI code completion and assistance tool powered by Google's Gemini language model. Code Assist is a rebranded and upgraded version of Google's previous Duet AI coding assistant. A key selling point is its support for Gemini 1.5 Pro, which has an industry-leading context window of 1 million tokens. That's more than the 130 to 280,000 tokens in other models. Brent Calder, a Google VP, said this allows for more accurate suggestions and a large-scale code transformation across entire code bases. Unlike some of its competitors, Code Assist can be customized using a company's proprietary code base and work with on-premises repos as well as GitHub, GitLab, and others. It also integrates with popular code editors like VS Code. Google is partnering with firms like Stack Overflow, Datadog, and Elastic to enhance Code Assist's knowledge. Despite that impressive set of partners, whether it can outperform GitHub Copilot remains to be seen based on real-world developer feedback. Alongside Code Assist, Google has launched Code Gemma, a new open model tuned for code tasks, as well as Gemini Cloud Assist to help optimize cloud architectures and operations. The AI coding assistance race is heating up as Amazon, Microsoft, and startups also invest in tools to augment developers' work. There are also specific AI assistants like Devon, which bills itself as an autonomous AI assistant that can independently solve real-world software engineering problems, and in some reports, outperform its competition. So this is an area to watch. There are a number of reports that show AI code assistants add enormous productivity gains, between 60 and 80%. But equally, there are early reports suggesting that there are issues with quality and potentially the security of code. But despite these challenges, this is an enormous area of opportunity, and a number of players will be jockeying for leadership in the coming months. Anthropic, the artificial intelligence startup that many point to as the real competition for ChatGPT, says its latest language models have become as persuasive as humans, according to new research released this week. The study examined how effective Anthropic's AI models are at swaying people's opinions compared to arguments written by real people. Researchers found that each new iteration of Anthropic's model scored higher in persuasiveness ratings. Most notably, the company's cutting-edge Claude 3 Opus model produced arguments that survey participants found just as persuasive as those crafted by humans. Dina Gromit, an Anthropic researcher who co-authored the study, said the findings raise concerns. Persuasion is a general skill with widespread applications that can potentially be misused to spread misinformation or manipulate people into acting against their own interests. The researchers tested the models on 28 different topics ranging from space exploration rules to uses of AI-generated content. However, they cautioned that the study avoided highly polarizing issues that could show different persuasiveness effects. Gromit said, "Persuasion is difficult to study in a lab setting. Our results may not transfer to the real world on topics where people have deeply held convictions." One thing that was made clear from the study, no matter who won or lost, Anthropic's high-end model Claude 3 Opus produces arguments that don't statistically differ from arguments written by humans. So whether it's Pi.ai that we've covered earlier, or Claude, or some new development from OpenAI or others, it is clear that we are at the tipping point where even key elements of conversation, such as persuasion, are showing AI, if not better, then at least equal to humans. And we still have an enormous amount of progress that will be made in AI in the coming months. As AI systems rapidly advance, the debate resumes around when machines might actually outpace human intelligence for various skills. Just this week, Elon Musk predicted AI could outsmart the smartest humans by the end of 2025. Given these developments, AI may be able to outpersuade humans as well. You may have gotten one of these, a message from a recruiter who wants to have a conversation but seems a little off somehow. Well, it turns out there are a number of fake recruiters out there and they are trying to scam you. And it's a growing number. So in response, LinkedIn is rolling out a new verification system for job recruiters on its platform. The company says generative AI tools have made it easier for bad actors to collect sensitive personal and even financial information. Under the new system, verified recruiters will have a checkmark badge on their profiles confirming their identity. When they message users, a verified badge will also appear to signal it's a legitimate recruiter. To get verified, recruiters must go through a vetting process, either providing a work email from a verified company or working with partners like Clear for identity confirmation. Wei Tu, LinkedIn's VP of Trust Engineering, says the goal is to provide transparency so users can make informed decisions when interacting with recruiters. While LinkedIn says it already catches most fake accounts, the verification is aimed at stopping remaining edge cases that slip through its detection filters. The rollout begins this week, though verification won't be available in all markets at first as LinkedIn works to expand it globally. By verifying legitimate recruiters, LinkedIn hopes to cut down on this rising wave of AI-powered scams that have put many users on high alert. Change Healthcare, a company that got hit by a huge ransomware attack just weeks ago, suffered another major ransomware attack that has once again disrupted its systems and caused delays for prescription services across the United States. In this latest incident, a relatively new ransomware gang called Ransom Hub claims to have stolen 4 terabytes of sensitive data from Change Healthcare's network. This includes personal information of U.S. service members and other patients, medical records, payment data, and over 3,000 source code files. Ransom Hub is threatening to publish or sell the stolen data unless Change Healthcare pays a ransom within 12 days. The group listed affected partners like Medicare, TRICARE, CVS Caremark, and several insurance companies. In February, the notorious ALF-V ransomware group breached the company's systems, allegedly receiving a $22 million ransom payment from Change Healthcare, though the company has not confirmed this. Now, this new attacker, Ransom Hub, alleges it now controls data stolen in the previous attack because ALF-V conducted an exit scam, keeping ransom money without compensating its affiliates involved in the initial breach. ALF-V operates what's known as ransomware as a service, where they provide the code and the infrastructure for ransomware attackers, but their partners, affiliates, or franchisees, for want of a better term, actually do the hacking. In return, these affiliates are supposed to get between 60 and 80% of the take. But ALF-V reportedly collected the $22 million, but claimed that law enforcement had disrupted them and never paid their affiliates. So many of these affiliates went over to this new group, Ransom Hub, and apparently took the data with them. But whatever the situation, Change Healthcare data is once again being held for ransom. And while the full details remain unclear, the incidents have significantly disrupted critical healthcare services provided by Change Healthcare, including pharmacy operations, insurance eligibility checks, and medical claims processing. Nick Tausik, a security expert, warned the repercussions extend far beyond inconvenience, directly impacting vital patient care across the healthcare system. And Change Healthcare now faces an agonizing choice: pay another ransom demand after potentially paying $22 million just weeks ago, or risk having sensitive data published to the dark web. The U.S. government is cracking down on artificial intelligence companies over concerns about copyright infringement and data privacy. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers have introduced 2 major new pieces of legislation aimed at reining in the AI industry. First, Congressman Adam Schiff of California proposed the Generative AI Copyright Disclosure Act. This would force AI firms like OpenAI to disclose any copyrighted works used to train their large language models and image generators. Companies would have to submit lists of this data to the U.S. Copyright Office before launching new AI tools. Schiff cited the immense but disruptive potential of generative AI, saying guidelines are needed to balance the technology's benefits with the protection of intellectual property rights. His bill has support from entertainment unions concerned about AI's use of copyrighted art, music, and movies. OpenAI and others face lawsuits alleging their systems like ChatGPT were illegally trained on copyrighted data, violating fair use provisions. The companies argue such training is legally permissible. Separately, a bipartisan group of senators introduced the American Privacy Rights Act, or APRA. This would set a new national data privacy standard, limiting what personal information companies can collect and use. APRA is very similar to European GDPR legislation and would let consumers opt out of targeted advertising, request data deletions, and even sue violators. It aims to resolve past sticking points that derailed previous privacy legislation attempts. Daniel Barber, CEO of DataGrail, says APRA has a real chance of becoming law due to its bipartisan, bicameral support in resolving long-standing privacy debates. Between potential new copyright rules and data protection laws, U.S. policymakers are making a concerted push to rein in the AI industry's controversial practices around data collection and usage. And that's our show for today. Thanks for those who've written in with comments and opinions. Keep them coming. And don't forget, you can even find us on YouTube now. If you check us out there, though, please give us a like or even a subscribe as we try to build an audience there as well. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a thrilling Thursday.